Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you all for taking the time to come out on a Sunday. For me, this is basically coming home. I'm an old Queens boy, so I'm in my backyard. First, to Commissioner Matt Driscoll, who is doing a fantastic job. He's the former mayor of Syracuse. I love working with former mayors because mayors know that you have to get it done. And he is the can-do commissioner. He never says no. Let's give him a round of applause, Commissioner Matt Driscoll. Senator Kaminsky, I don't want to say the man is a broken record, but every time I've seen him, 878, 878, 878. I'm going to call him 878. He fought for you, he's right, and we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Senator Todd Kaminsky fighting for Route 878. To my other colleagues from Albany, to the Assembly people who are here, the local electeds, County Executive Ed Mangano. Normally when I'm with the County Executive, we're in some snowstorm, hurricane, Mother Nature wrath, never happened before, but now it's going to happen to us situation. So to be with Ed when the sun is shining and it's not raining is really nice and unusual. We are talking about flooding, so it's basically where we've been. But let's give the County Executive a round of applause. We're speaking specifically about 878, which has been a problem for a long, long time. As I said, I lived in Queens. I lived in House, Queens. I had a good friend of mine for many years who lived in Inwood. So I would come down the Cross Island Parkway, come across Brookville Boulevard, right, which was an undertaking in and of itself, right? That is like going over the mountains when you go over Brookfield Boulevard and you dodge the potholes and you're going through a whole marsh area, right? You're waiting for a boat to float past as you're going through Brookfield Boulevard. And then you'd have to run the floods, it was like a full test for a vehicle. That's what it was. Did you have the shocks to handle Brookfield Boulevard? And then did you have the ground clearance to make it through the water on Burnside? So this is a situation that has gone on way too long. And it is, in many ways, not unique. There are a lot of situations like this, especially in the transportation area, that just have gone on too long. And I remember going up and down saying to myself, why doesn't somebody fix this? I mean, does anybody notice besides me that there's 3 feet of water here and I'm afraid that I may have to get out and swim? But it went on for a long time, and all too often the state would take a Band-Aid approach. And they'd fix one little part of it, one little section, but that really wouldn't make a difference because there were other problems. Or they would start a construction project and it would go on forever, right? This project was scheduled to be done 2025. 2025, I'm sure, is going to be a nice year. It has a nice ring to it, 2025. Problem is, I may be dead by 2025. You know, that's a long time from now. And who wants to wait and put up with it until 2025? And some of the original plans were for a piecemeal approach because a full approach is expensive. But to do it right is expensive short term. But in the long term, it turns out to be the more cost-effective resolution. So this is going to do almost a mile of road, which is the problematic area. It's going to move the construction date up to 2015. It is a $130 million investment, which is a big investment for the state of New York, but it is worthwhile because it's going to solve this problem once and for all. Amen. It should have been done a long time ago, but we're going to get it done now. And it is, as I said, it's not unique. There are a lot of situations like this. Last week we were talking about the Kosciuszko Bridge. It's between Brooklyn and Queens. It is equally as frustrating as the situation you have here. The Kosciuszko Bridge is about 78 years old, and it was forever a traffic tie-up when you're going from Queens to Brooklyn or Brooklyn to Queens, right by the Midtown Tunnel. I remember as a boy, I'd be in the car with my father, and we'd be coming down the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway, first Grand Central Parkway to the Brooklyn-Queens, because my father loved the best traffic route, you know, and what time of day, and he was going to figure it out, and his route was always going to be the best, he thought. And since you didn't take the other route, you didn't really know whether or not the other route would have been better. So, but you'd get to the Kosciuszko, and then you would stop. And my father would bang the steering wheel, and next to the Kosciuszko was a very large cemetery. And he would say, "Here we are, stuck again in Death Valley," he would say. But that went on for decades. And now the Kosciuszko Bridge is going to be all redone, 2 spans. It's going to accelerate traffic. LaGuardia Airport. Why have we endured LaGuardia Airport? You know, the Vice President, Joe Biden, former Vice President now, said something about LaGuardia that he got roundly criticized about a year ago. He said, if you were blindfolded and you landed at LaGuardia and took off the blindfold, you would think you were in a third world country. And all the New York politicians said, how dare you say that? You insult New York. It's terrible, you, Vice President, foot and mouth. I said, no, the Vice President is exactly right. It looks like a third world airport. It's terrible. And it's gone on too long, and we should change it. And JFK, the same thing. You land at JFK, the chaos of it, the confusion of it, it's just, that's not what New York deserves. You know, you land in airports now, they have beautiful airports all around the world. And we just lost the last 30 years, 40 years. We were living on our legacy of what we built 2, 3 generations ago. And we haven't done anything. Ask yourself, when was the last time we built a new airport? We haven't. Ask yourself, when was the last time this nation has built a new airport? It was the Denver airport about 20 years ago. We lost our confidence. We lost our mojo somewhere along the way. When was the last time we built a bridge? When was the last time we built a new subway system? We just lost that ambition. But in New York, we're getting it back. We're building a whole new airport at LaGuardia. Whole new airport. Not a piecemeal, not a Band-Aid. Everything you see comes down to the ground, and then a whole new airport goes up. John F. Kennedy Airport, we're now just commissioned a study for a whole new airport at JFK. Can't be a maze anymore. Follow the sign, and if you make it out alive, God bless you. It can't be that. We're going to have a world-class airport at JFK because we deserve it. And just like we're doing the Kosciuszko Bridge and we're doing the Tappan Zee Bridge, we're building a new Penn Station now. We're improving and expanding the Jacob Javits Convention Center in Manhattan. We're adding 1 million square feet. So that convention center is more competitive with the other convention centers. We're adding finally the 2nd track and the 3rd track on the Long Island Railroad, so you actually have a commutation that can work. We're going to build a new Long Island Railroad concourse in Manhattan at Penn Station, so you don't have to go through that sardine can on your way to work. It's the largest investment in development that the state has made, period. $100 billion. Because, in my opinion, these are not just transportation projects. Transportation projects are directly related to economic development. They are one. They are intertwined. You can't do business if people can't get there. You can't do business if you're going to torture people on the way to getting there, right? It's very simple. And we're all about economic development. Our main focus is jobs, jobs, jobs. But to do the economic development, you have to have the transportation system to get there. That JFK is the front door to New York. That is where every tourist comes. That's where every businessman comes. And making that a pleasurable experience is everything. Same thing with LaGuardia Airport. Same thing with the LIE. Same thing with the LIRR. These have to work. They have to work well. They have to be clean. They have to be on time. People have to feel comfortable taking them. And it's true on a macro level. It's true on a micro level. All the businesses here that are trying to do well, trying to grow, trying to build more, you can't have roads that are difficult, that flood, that slow traffic. It literally slows and puts a drag on the economy in the region. So this is an investment. It's an investment that's going to pay dividends. It is a project that is going to get done. It will get done quickly. It will get done on time. Commissioner Driscoll promises you it will be done by 2019. His home number is 518-474, because we believe the fundamental 8418. The fundamental obligation of government. And what we've done in Albany over the past few years with my colleagues in both the Senate and the Assembly. Government is not about politics. It's not about playing out your Democratic politics or playing out your Republican politics or playing out your conservative or your liberal politics. You have your politics, God bless you. What I say to them all day long is, you're Democrat, we're Republican, we're New Yorkers first. And act like New Yorkers. And our job is to get it done, to make things better for the people of the state, to complete projects, to get it done quickly, to get it done efficiently, to use your tax dollars well, but to make this state a better state and to leave this state better than we found it, so that when our time is done and we hand it over to our sons and our daughters, we know that we're giving them a state that is better, stronger, sweeter, safer than the state we inherited. That's our responsibility as citizens, as New Yorkers, as parents. That's what allows you to put your head on the pillow at night and sleep, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to make this state a better state from one end to the other, and this is a step in that direction. Thank you, and God bless you.